Okay.
I think that's a ridiculous idea. I hope that they don't mean that. Let's just think about this. We've got all this devastation in Texas. We've got another unprecedented hurricane about to hit Florida, and they want to play politics with the debt ceiling? That will strand the aid that we need to bring to these victims of these storms that have occurred or are about to occur, and then they also want to threaten default on our debt. I think that's ridiculous and disgraceful that they want to play politics with the debt ceiling at this moment when we have fellow citizens in need to respond to these hurricanes so that we do not strand them. Yeah, so first let me say, many of us got the calls from the administration and OMB who said FEMA is moving so fast that we're running out of money as early as Friday to Tuesday. So we've got to make sure that we have the authority, legal authority, to go out and be able to put money back into FEMA so we can respond to these hurricanes, not to mention the fact that we already have to start pre-positioning for the fact that Irma is about to hit Florida. And to play politics with a debt ceiling like Schumer and Pelosi apparently are doing, I don't think is a good idea. Yeah. President Obama was wrong to do it in the first place because he overstepped his constitutional bounds. We, the president and Congress, take an oath to support and defend the Constitution. So President Trump was right in his decision. He made the right call. I'm also encouraged by the fact that he gave us time to work out a consensus, to find a compromise, because these kids don't, for the most part, don't know any other home than the United States. So I think the president was right to give us the time we need to find that compromise.
And then the second part is, you previously had said,
where does that compromise exist? That's what we're going to spend the next months figuring out, where that compromise is. But I think it's totally reasonable and appropriate that when you take a look at the DACA dilemma, this is a dilemma that in large part stems from the fact that it is a symptom of a larger problem. And the larger problem is that we do not have control of our borders. And so it's only reasonable and fitting that we also address the root cause of the problem, which is borders that are not sufficiently controlled, while we address this very real and very human problem that's right in front of us. We will not be advancing legislation that does not have the support of President Trump, because we're going to work with the president on how to do this legislation. And if we have legislation coming through here that is worked with and supported by the president, I'm very confident that our members will support that. I think people should rest easy, and I think the president made the right call, and the president also gave us the time and space we're going to need to find where that compromise is. As I mentioned in my opening remarks, this is a home that people know, and they don't know any other country as a home. And so I think there's a serious humane issue here that needs to be dealt with. But it's only fitting and reasonable that we also deal with some of the root causes of this problem, because what we don't want to have happen is another DACA problem in 10 years from now. We want to make sure that we fix this issue for these kids, for these young people, and address the root cause of the problem so we don't have the same thing 10 years from now. So I do believe that there is a compromise to be had here. I do believe that Congress, and we're going to work with our members to find out where that compromise is so that we can bring resolution to this very legitimate problem. Thank you.